about that. So we're having technical problems. I was bringing Justin from Good to the Land on, and he's in Texas right now. We were going to do an entire live with him. Justin, you crashed the system. Jennifer is blaming everything on you. It's not the internet in California. It's all about you, buddy. No, sorry about that. What we're going to do coming up here in just a few minutes, we are going to do the amp giveaway from American Rotary. Chris is turning the barrel. Look at that. Look at that go. Actually, do we want to do it at noon, or do you want to do it right now?
Oh, we can do it right now.
Are we still live?
Yeah, no, sorry. I had images loaded for Chris.
Oh, that's all right.
When it crashed, they all went.
Okay. Can you see me?
I can see you. Can everybody else see us?
Not yet.
Okay, you guys. Chris is turning the barrel. Can we see a good shot of the barrel in this?
Yeah, remember, we're 3-minute delay.
Okay, Chris is going to pull it. All right. Here we go. We're going to announce the winner of a one-of-a-kind amp phase converter from American Rotary.
Gonna get in there real good.
Chris is getting in there really good.
Not what you want to hear your dentist say.
Kelly T.
Kelly T. I'm going to check the list here for a minute, make sure there's not more than one.
Doesn't it go JK?
Yeah.
So this person's got to be here.
No. Kelly T., we want to congratulate you. Actually, let's give the number 712917. 712917. You've got an amp coming to you. It's a one-of-a-kind. Now, what makes this one even more special than being stainless steel, that's only one of a kind, is this is the first item from American Rotary that did not get stickered by all the YouTubers. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to send you an envelope with the YouTubers here, and that envelope will have the stickers so you'll be able to put them in your shop. All right, we're going to take a little break. We're having lunch right now. We have a special director's cut for the Jimmy DiResta. So I want to thank Jameis for editing this for us. And Jameis, thank you very much. He is, hold on just a second here. No, it's not. Ha. What, I forget. Essential Edits. There we go. Essential Edits. Jameis, thank you very much for editing these videos. And let's go to the longer version of the Jimmy DiResta. Hey guys, welcome back to the Barzy 2020 Summer Bash interview series. Right now we've got Jimmy DiResta on the line. Jimmy, how's it going?
I'm doing great, dude. Thanks for inviting me. I'm honored to be part of this crew.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here. It's such a strange year, but to have you here recording you is just excellent. So hey, I've got some crazy questions for you.
Let's do it.
I got about 20 of them for you, and some of them are a little more outlandish than others, but I promise you I will not ask you boxers or briefs. I left that one up to this old Tony.
Boxer briefs. Okay.
All right. Now, you've been on YouTube for a long time, but how long? But you actually started back in TV.
Yeah, I've been doing TV since 18 years, actually. It was my first television show 18 years ago. And then about 9 years ago, I went to YouTube. And I've still dabbled in TV in the last 9 years. In fact, we got a new TV show coming up. So,
can you tell us about it?
Actually, it's a show on one of the streaming networks. And I put a casting call out on my channel, so I can't, it's not too much of a secret. They obviously they want to handle the marketing, so they asked me not to say who it is, but it's pretty obvious who they are. It's a big streaming network, and we're doing a show where me and 5 other YouTubers will be making stuff for the people that they cast. So it's not going to be a phony premise. I mean, on all discussions we've had, seems really good in the way that it's not going to be a fake business. It's not going to be a fake premise. It's just guys that make stuff on YouTube making cool things for people that are in need. And that's it.
Great.
It's not going to be any money. No money's going to be even talked about. It's
Okay.
really more about like know-how. We're going to there'll be a lot of takeaway from the episodes where people are just going to, oh
Well,
God,
and
that's how
I-
you manufacture, that's how you CNC, or that's how you lay, that's how you turn.
Okay. Well, and I think that's one of the reasons that YouTube is becoming so successful, because it's truly reality TV.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, that's all I ever watch. That's
Yeah.
how I get my news clips and late night shows. I never ever turn a TV on. I don't own a TV.
Yeah, yeah. So, why did you start your channel?
Well, I was frustrated with YouTube. I'm sorry, I was frustrated with the networks. I had done a television show on Discovery, which by all accounts was a great show. I mean, we had some really quality people. It was a show where me and my brother picked garbage, fixed it up, or turned it into stuff and transformed it and sold it at the flea market. It was called Dirty Money. But the original name of the pilot that we made completely independently was called Lord of the Fleas, Lord of the Flea Market. And
Okay.
we made that pilot in 2004, and I wasn't able to. We made that on our own, and I sold it in 2010, 6 years later. And in 2011, we made it into a Discovery Channel show. And, by just some connections and found the right group of people that like it. It's all about
Good.
chemistry when you sell anything. It's never
Yeah.
necessarily about the quality of what it is. But anyway, they turned it into a really good show. Everybody was proud of. We had good people. Like, remember the show Miami Ink? There was a few of the producers from Miami Ink on the show. So
Okay.
we all had our high hopes, and the network decided they just didn't want to market it, and it died. And that
Yeah.
was the end of it. And I was so frustrated and angry. I was like, I'm going to go to YouTube and prove to them what they lost. And then I shortly started getting like emails, like really heartfelt emails of people like, wow, you've helped me through this tough time, because these videos you've been doing are they're therapeutic in many ways, or I'm a veteran with PTSD and I really like what you do. And
Wow.
those things really drove me to they fueled my energy. And then just self-accomplishment, without knowing I could do this without a production company, that I could make 3 or 5 or 6 movies a month and not have to argue about what I want to make, and not have to justify what I want to make, and that I'm not making things that are going to explode, because that's what works on Mythbusters.
Right. And you have a film background, don't you?
No, well, not particularly from school. Art school, I went for graphic design and 3-dimensional illustration. I started
Okay.
filming on my own, and I started working with some of the film students at school, assisting them, really just by work on the job experience, learning how to do filmmaking. I bought an Arriflex camera in the summer of 2001. Actually, in the spring of 2001, I bought an Arriflex camera. That summer, I shot a 10-minute movie, which is horrible. I don't even know where it is. It's on some VHS tape somewhere. But that was really just an education. And then I shot my next movie, was on video. And it was really just me learning. Every one of those first movies that I did was like, okay, what am I going to do different that I was unhappy with last time? The idea of storytelling, really just self-taught.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite video you've shot? You've shot so many, it's hard to say.
I shot probably somewhere in the area of like 400 or 500 videos. I mean, that includes all my vlogs too. Some of my vlogs I'm pretty proud of, just because that's where I get to just cut loose and just edit anything, because I expect nobody to watch it. I don't care if they do or not.
Okay, I will confess, I watch your vlogs.
Thank you.
I actually love your vlogs more than your build videos.
Thank
So
you. That's where I get to just be super creative. So I really get to run loose on those, and nobody's watching me and no one's giving me any instruction. It's just me,
Right.
just, letting myself have fun. I'm always looking for a good piece of music to edit to, and I always think there's a lot more I could do, but I'm always like, that looks pretty good. That's fun. This is still very seat of the pants, this whole concept of YouTube, so I don't get too uptight about it.
yeah, there's things that you just have to leave out in the edit, and you just go, it is what it is. It's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as a build video, I guess, it's it's crazy what, like, one of my highest rated videos is like 20 something million on that guitar, which is the one thing everybody knows me for, where I converted a guitar into what looks like an AK-47.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a fun one. And that was a good one. I just did the restoration of this old Winchester rifle, which I happen to have. It's right here leaning on the wall. It just turned 15, gonna probably be 15 million views. It's unbelievable. It just keeps going and going and going. I only did it a few months ago. That's it.
Wow.
So it's actually now my highest rated video. I guess, I feel a certain sense of accomplishment when I do some techniques. Actually, I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke because this is where we are, but I really do feel a sense of accomplishment when I do something in the machine shop, because that's the one thing I didn't grow up doing. Everything else I grew up doing. I grew up welding a little bit. I grew up doing woodwork a lot, running the wood lathe. But when I run a metal lathe or when I run the Bridgeport, and I remember the stuff I learned from watching Mr. Pete or anybody else, or this old Tony, I really feel an honest sense of accomplishment. So any of those videos, I just made a gavel for my buddy who became a federal judge in New York City. And
Excellent.
So that was fun. I told him I'd make it, and then this weekend came up. This is going to date this moment in time, but when the weekend came up, I was like, I have to make something. What can I do that's going to be impactful, but I could do it in a few hours? I was like, let me make that gavel in the notebook. So
do you have any goals for the channel?
as far as long-term goals, I guess it's just to continue to put out content that I learn from and that people can learn from. That's it. Just keep going. I mean, I'm not, everybody wants a viral video, and you get it every once in a while, and that's really nice. But to do something like a Mr. Beast or, Mark Roper, I honestly, I think I'd be putting too much pressure on myself. So I'm just doing what I do on my day-to-day life, and occasionally I'm like, this would make a cool video. Let me make a film about that. And then I do it. And then in between, I'm actually doing real work for real clients.
No, I totally understand that. So let me talk to you about favorite tools. But before I do, this is one of my favorite tools.
Thank you.
Now, I remember when I first met you, it was at John Saunders, and we never really met.
Right.
And I got a chance to pull you aside a little bit.
We met at the open house, right, for the first time?
Yeah. And I went, so what's the deal with this ice pick? I think they're stupid. And you go, take one home.
Right.
And you gave me this one right here. And I've got two of them now.
Right on.
And I got to say, this crazy little tool is always in my shop and always being used for something.
Yep.
And it's like one of the greatest painting tools ever, because I can open a can with it. I can clean out tips on the spray gun.
It's like a single point pocket knife. That's what it is. A pocket knife is a line. That's a single point pocket knife.
So this is one of my favorite tools. What is one of yours?
I guess, the one thing I'm most proudest of that I own, and that, like, every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe, because I remember when I first started to pay attention to what a South Bend lathe was. I guess it was probably about 15 years ago, and I really started to, like, that moment, we all know that moment, when you're looking at a machine, especially you love machines, and you start to really notice the curves on a machine that make it like that legendary, like the Bridgeport hanging over your shoulder with the dovetail gantry arm. Like machines like that you really start to pay attention to. So it was about 15, 16 years ago when I really started to pay close attention to what a South Bend lathe was. And I bought a little desktop one in Chinatown in New York City. Mm-hmm. And that was my first one, like a 9-inch, but with no gearbox.
Gotcha.
Then I started looking for one with a gearbox, and then I couldn't afford them at the time, and then I didn't know where to put them. And then I remember getting the bug. That bug we get, like, when you you know what you need. You need a, whatever it is, you need a Chevy flatbed pickup truck, which I just bought. And then you start looking for a good specimen. And I remember when I finally found on Craigslist here in New York, I was in Manhattan, in my shop in the city, and I saw on Craigslist popped up a South Bend lathe, a 16 by 8 feet. And I called the guy. He said, someone's coming to look at it. And I kind of hesitated, and I lost it. And then about 2 weeks later, another one showed up. And I called the guy. I said, I'll buy it sight unseen. He goes, now. Wait to come look. I'm like, I'll just PayPal you right now. It was $2,000 because I was itching. Anyway, long story short, that's the one in the video from about 5 years ago that I ended up getting, because I had already gotten a couple of smaller ones, and I was ready for a big one. And so I think
Right.
that's like my favorite tool that I own. And I own a second one now, a 10-foot one that popped up. And so I own a 10-foot 16 and an 8-foot 16.
Well, I think you can see over my shoulder that little sander.
Yeah, I have one of those. It's the train sander.
I've been looking for one of those for 10 years and finally got one at a swap meet.
I got two of them.
Yeah, there's just like cool. It's those lines. They're just so cool looking.
It's like holding a full-on sander in your arms with no base. I've been using mine actually.
Yes.
Weighs about 45 pounds.
So after you rebuild a machine, do you have a favorite color you like to paint them?
I paint them black. I paint everything black.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Rust-Oleum, but they are getting better in their quality of paints. And I paint everything black with Rust-Oleum. Just
Okay.
if it ever leaves my shop, it'll be like, oh, this was a Duresta restoration because it's black. You could start like that. But I never sell anything though. That's the problem.
Well, that's kind of my color.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah.
That's always my color. It's Rust-Oleum, but I will say, Rust-Oleum in California, I don't think it's the same formula.
Really? Oh, well, because California, everything causes cancer in California, but not everywhere else.
So I'm actually going to be switching to epoxies now because this Rust-Oleum just doesn't work here. I don't know if it's what it is, just isn't working. So on your list, your bucket list for machines, what are you looking for?
Well, it's funny now because of Jason and because of A-Bomb, everyone's offering me
Big shapers.
big shapers, but I just can't justify dedicating the space to a shaper. I just passed on. I wasn't offered it. I was just sent a Facebook listing, but it's close to me, and I probably could have got it for probably next to nothing because nobody wants them. A beautiful, perfect shaper. I forget the brand, not Pratt & Whitney, but it was like one of those brands that you don't see often. And it was like a 36-inch one. It was like the one that Jason's got, but like I would have had to dedicate like 2 parking spaces to it, and I just can't do it. I can't justify it. I guess my bucket list most recently was my hit miss engines that I got from Mr. Pete, and Mr. Pete is the sweetest person in the world. He sent me, I have these right here on my desk. He sent me these little models of 2 of them. Well, they're not exactly the same ones, but they are little models of hit miss motors. This is a John Deere one.
But they're not operational.
No. These are just little models. They're like Matchbox cars. But they're so cool. Like I've been wanting these for so long, and then when Mr. Pete offered his collection, I immediately wrote him. I'll buy all of them at the same time, and I did. And they sat in his garage for 10 months. And now, because of this project that we have coming up, this show I was talking about, I want to have them so that we could run something if we need it. And also obviously looks cool and it's fun and interesting. So I hired Jason McDonald, who probably some people might know. He moved some machines for people. He was amazing. He went and picked them up. Like we made a deal, and then the machines were here like 2 days later. It was unbelievable.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that worked out well. I was gonna go pick them up, but with the way the world is right now, and I got busy and whatever.
Oh yeah.
As far as bucket list, I'm trying to think. Like the bucket list, I need a good chopping. I just did a video where I showed 15 bandsaws, but I need a good quality chopping bandsaw. I had Tormach gave me one to test there. I think it's called the T50 with the automatic feed. They gave me one to test, and I had to give it back. But the precision of how that worked was, it's like, this is what I'm missing in my life. A brand new chopping bandsaw to cut. I want an Ellis or something that's like top line. That's what I'm eventually will get my hands on. And I'll get rid of all my riffraff. I'll just give it to fans or friends.
Well, and that's what after a while you can have too many of something.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm tripping over it too much, I got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I'm in a small shop in California. I think I have about 900 square feet, and I had to bring in pallet racking so I could store everything. And storing machinery is on pallet rack. Why do I have the machine if I can't get to it?
Right. Well, that's it. My goal too is I've said this in my other podcast with Andrew and Eric, that I will buy an antique machine as long as I know that I could possibly figure out how to use it in my manufacture. A scraper, I probably wouldn't be able to use it. A shaper, I wouldn't be able to use it legitimately ongoing. I mean, what would I do? I'm not surfacing plates or anything like that.
And what's the joke about a shaper is you can make anything with it except money.
Well, that's good. I didn't realize that was the saying, but I instinctively knew. Don't get me wrong. If one just shows up at my parking lot over here, and it's one of those beauties that needs to be oiled, and I'll run it. I'll figure out some other reason to make it do something.
Well, and I've gotten to this point right now, as I always, whenever we talk about shop talk, I go, do you like to build your shop or do you like to build things in your shop? And I'm kind of at this point where I'm tired of building my shop because I don't have time to build projects.
Right.
Because I moved, I sold everything, moved to California, and I'm trying to find machinery here. And machinery here is pretty cheap, but now I have a new standard. If I can't plug and play, I don't buy it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I mean, we're all getting too old to start. Like I buy machines because I just don't want to see them go to the scrapyard. And I got a call this morning for a sawmill and an old printing press that are going to go to the scrapyard. And I might go grab them. I'll park them on. I got enough acreage. I'll just park them on the acreage, and then if I feel motivated, or if I could enlist. Lately, this young whippersnapper named Rob has been helping me out. Rob Rojas. He helped me restore the bandsaw on the drill press. He's not above getting completely in the grind with a wire wheel. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, I took a shower this morning. I don't want to get rust dust all over me. It's like I used to not care, but now it's like rust dust like under my fingernails.
Okay, so here's a good question. This one actually comes from my wife. How would you spend $1 million if you could only spend it on your shop?
Gantry crane, straight away.
Okay.
Big gantry crane that ran the whole
beam
width.
Beam to beam?
Yep, beam crane that would run the whole shop. I would start getting big rollers, like a big slip roller that would bend 1 inch thick steel. I would get a flame table.
There's one of those for sale, by the way, here.
Oh yeah, is it probably too big? You got to break it up to 4 18-wheelers, like one of those.
Yes.
And I would just get all heavy duty metal stuff, just because.
Okay.
Although I grew up as a wood guy, now my life is really everybody says, "What do you like, wood or metal?" I was like, metal. I could start a project in the morning and be completely done with it in the evening, and not have to worry about sawdust or sanding or, and it'll live forever. It'll be around forever.
Well, I was the same thing. I was a woodworker. My whole family was. And the thing I never liked about wood is it changes its shape.
That's another pain in the ass. You make a beautiful table and you find out that a crack developed because of the people you made it for in a dry area versus what you made it was a wet area. Yeah. Do
you have a favorite tips or tricks for the shop? I know you've done videos on that.
I guess if a general tip, and it's funny. I just said it to my buddy this morning. He asked me a question. He goes, "What if I want to expand something?" He was in a CNC program, might have been Vectrix. He's like, "How do I offset? If I do a positive, which way does it go? If I do a negative, which way does it go?" I go, "Just pick one and do it and see what happens, and then Command Z, undo it." So my trick is try something as an experiment. If it doesn't work or you don't get the expected result, try the opposite of that and then see what happens. Another thing too is I just try it. I'm like, I don't know, try plus. Did it work? No. All right, try negative. Oh, it worked. Oh, thanks. Do that before you have to call your friend to ask them. Because when I started learning how to weld and I get a new machine, the first thing I do is I dial it all the way up, see what happens, dial it all the way down, dial it in the middle, that's it.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with feeds and speeds. I mean, I'm no John Saunders, I'm no mathematician, but when it comes to feeds and speeds, I'm like, if the machine's groaning, turn it up. If the machine's, if you're getting steam and you're getting a clumped up thing, slow it down. Clumped up cutter head. That's
the way I do it.
Flood with a lot of WD-40. To hear everybody saying.
I have a little
WD-40 is not coolant. Let me hear. Does everyone say that?
Oh gosh, I had somebody go on a full rant about that, and it's like, for aluminum it is. Hey, I've used everything. Sometimes you're just desperate and you just grab a spray bottle. I have spray bottles with paint thinner and whatever. It's just like, it's all I got. I need it now.
I've used Windex. Windex or Clean Green, whatever that stuff is, Mr. Clean Green.
I wasn't gonna admit that on camera. It has just enough. Windex has just enough wax in it to where sometimes it works.
Hey, if it's Windex bottle or the half-inch drill bit that I only have one left that's sharp. Windex is going out the window.
So hey, you've got a few pets. Just a few.
A few, yeah.
Do you got any good pet stories of cat walking across the table saw or anything crazy like that?
Well, it's funny. We have these 3 new black cats, and everybody wants to know if anybody's paid close attention to my stories in the last year. My buddy, about a year ago, his cat, it was May 5th, his cat gave birth. So May 5th was the cats were a year old. His cat always running around getting pregnant. She had like 4 litters of cats. So one of the first litters of cats he had with that's one of my roosters out on the porch. So the first litter of cats, so the second litter of cats they had, he was having a hard time. He gets getting stuck in the city, and anyways, like, go check on my cats, go check. So we just took them. We just brought the 3 cats home. They were kittens,
okay,
and they were in the welding tips and tricks video with JD and Jody. This kind of when we first got them, the 3 little tuxedos, and they're grown up now, and they're a pain in the ass. They knock things over. That's why my iPad that we're talking on right here has got a shattered screen, because the cats knocked the coffee cup onto it from a shelf, which was a storage shelf. And I'll let them roam free in the house. I will find them in a place that they could have only got there if a ghost picked them up and put them there. I don't know how they get into these locations or high up, knocking things over. So those 3 cats are probably going to ultimately become shop cats. So right now, long story short, I don't have any cats that actually live in the shop.
Okay.
Spike passed away. He was the one that was in all the tips videos. I had him for about 5 years. I bought a shop and all the contents of the shop. And when I went to pick up my last load, he's like, hey, do you guys want my cat? I can't take him with me to California. If you guys want him, you can have him. And so he goes, let me just take him home so the kids could say goodbye to him. And if you want him, I'll bring him over later. So he brought him over like 2 days later, and that's how I got Spike.
Right. Oh, wow. That's a great story. So let me ask you this question. Do you have a favorite metalworking YouTuber?
Oh, this old Tony. I mean, without a doubt.
All right.
This old Tony is amazing. And I mean, honestly, you were the first one, and I'm not blowing smoke. You were the first YouTuber that does workshop stuff on a Bridgeport and all that kind of stuff that I started watching. Because I was watching welding tips and tricks, and you were metal tips and tricks at the time. And for some reason, maybe because the searches are similar, you kept popping up. So you were the first person that I started watching on YouTube. Nice. And it was around the same time that I found Mr. Pete. But, I mean, of course, we love Mr. Pete. I love Tony. Yeah. I love Adam. It's just such a great community, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a couple of different communities. I'm in like the woodworking crew, and and I'm here with you guys, and I felt such a warm welcome feeling when I went to Bar Z a couple of years ago. I honestly thought that people would be like a little bit like, oh, who does this guy think he is? But everybody was so nice. Joe Pye, amazing teacher. So it's just such a great community, and when I say favorites, I say Tony, probably because of his sense of humor more than anything else. Yeah. But, of course, I learned a thing or two watching him.
Well, I joke with him that his channel was like at 7,000, and he hadn't 7,000 subscribers, and he hadn't been doing any videos in a while. And I did a series on YouTubers I really liked, and I talked about this whole Tony, how great his channel was, and I was at about 20,000 at the time. And then like 2 months later, he blows past me. I mean, just. So I give myself the credit for his channel growing so well, not his great talent, his sense of humor, his storytelling. It's all about me. But no, it was just funny because at that same time, he was building a CNC milling machine from scratch. Or router, I should say. And that's really what put him on there, because all these CNC people started to watch him at that time. So I can't take credit, but in my head I do. Right. So, but he's great.
I have this old Tony story if he's in the audience. I don't know if this is a secret, Tony, so I'm sorry I'm spilling the beans. He texted me or messaged me through email and said, will you be in New York City next week? I said, if you're going to be there, I'm going to be in New York City next week. And so that happened. I got to meet him in person. We sat down. I got to sit with him and his lovely wife, and we just sat in a coffee shop in Midtown and talked for like 3 hours, and then just like two spies passing in the night, we fist bumped. He went his way and I went my way, and no pictures, no recording. He's like, this is where we're going to meet, no cameras. And so I was like, let's do it. And we had, I wish that we lived closer. I would spend a lot of time with him, and I'm sure we would have a lot more collabs than we do. We try collabs often, but just, with my schedule and his schedule, we just haven't hit another collab like we did with the Knuckle Duster.
So let me kind of do a follow-up question with favorite YouTuber. Do you have just an overall favorite YouTuber? Any genre.
I guess I could say Casey Neistat because he was a fellow New Yorker. I don't know him. A lot of people misunderstand and think that he and I are friends. I never met him. We talked through email because a mutual friend tried to connect us, and his life was just like completely skyrocketing, so he didn't have time to make for me, but I don't resent him in any way. He's been a huge inspiration as far as, like watching what happens on YouTube and like making YouTube your life and in your career. So he's been amazing. Yeah. And, who else? I guess I watch Philip DeFranco for, teenage YouTube gossip, which is great. Sometimes he covers, adult stuff, which is cool. So I guess my overall would probably be, Casey Neistat, if anybody knows who that is.
Nice.
For style and, stick-to-itiveness and, just also the one thing I love about Casey is just he has the ability to just be himself. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'm assuming he hams it up a little bit, but quirks, his crummy handwriting, his, ability to misspell, he's just being himself. And it's nice to see another YouTuber not being so apprehensive in front of the camera.
And it kind of brings me back to one of my first comments with us talking is YouTube is reality TV that's real.
Yeah, it is.
And he's real.
Yep.
And I think you have a lot of those same qualities, is you are who you are.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're both New Yorkers, so that's why we're fairly similar. That's why a lot of people assume we know each other. But no, thank you. I appreciate it. And, like I said, YouTube, when people always say, what's your biggest accomplishment? I say, my YouTube catalog. It's changed my life. It's changed, like, all my relationships, all my friends. Every one of my closest friends now is a YouTuber that I met through YouTube. The guys I grew up with, like, there are a couple of guys that, I still talk to here and there, but, like, when Taylor always says it, she's like, do you remember life before YouTube, how boring things were? I'm like, we had, like, work ended at 6, and we would go, for a walk in Manhattan with nothing to do. Now, I'm busy 24 hours a day, she's busy 24 hours a day. It's obviously a little bit stressful on a relationship. We got to make sure we make time. But, life pre-YouTube, life post-YouTube. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for a thing. I mean, I don't have any regrets one way or another.
Good. Well, you're one of the favorites out there, and we're so glad that you were able to come to the Barzy Summer Bash. I think it was 2 seasons ago.
It was.
Really bummed that, you're not here now, but we're so glad you're able to come here, do this interview.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you. Say hi to everybody.
I will. And, when we finally get together again, it's going to be amazing.
It will be. It will be a big party.
I'm not just, being like, bullshitty, but I think when we actually are able to, like, get back to normal, it's just going to be so much fun.
It will be. All right, my friend. Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you. And hello to everybody out there that's watching, and Stan and everybody. Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Barzy 2020 Bash. I know we've enjoyed our lunch from Barbecue Dave's dang good ribs. So it was excellent. Thank you to the girls back there. Thank you very much for serving us. We appreciate it. Now, we're starting to gain some more people now. I am seeing some sleepy eyes out there. We're kind of getting into the lunch coma. I hope you guys are not in the lunch coma yet. So here, I asked this question at the very beginning. I want to know what countries you guys are viewing this from. It's always fun to read. The most unique so far is Italy, so that's really fun. Let's see. We got a special guest, Keith Rucker. Come on over here. Let's talk a little bit. You got a couple items to give away also. Andrew, you want to bring over those Keith Rucker items? All right, you guys, I want to introduce Keith Rucker, Vintagemachinery.org. Did I get that right?
You did. I'm proud of you, Dad. You're awesome, man. Perfect.
Now, I want you guys to realize something. This is the very first time he's ever called me awesome. Why is that?
That's true.
Hold on. Where's that 20 I'm supposed to come out with? So now your channel is, you're probably one of the third or fourth persons I subscribe to. How long has your channel been out there?
Wow, I think we've actually been maybe 6 or 7 years now.
I think it's longer than that. If anybody knows in the comments, tell us how long you think his channel's been up.
It seems like a blur to me. I don't know.
You are, I mean, you're putting out more videos, I think, than Mr. Pete now. You're doing 2 a week, one on Friday, one on Monday, and I want to thank you for this for one reason. I know what day of the week it is, and when the weekend starts is when I get to watch one of your videos, so I want to say thank you for that.
I'm glad that, you know, and you in your retired life where you don't know what day of the week it is, that I can help out. That's awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
I don't have that problem.
You don't have that problem. Well, I'm glad that you're on a schedule so I can act like I'm on a schedule. I got to vicariously live through you, so thank you. So you got a couple unique items to give away. Let's talk about them.
Sure. So first thing, if you watch my channel, I'm always wearing an apron. It protects my clothes. My wife is happier with me. And it's just something, even back when I worked in the machine shop, I always wore a machinist apron. So I've got one here that's got our Vintage Machinery logo on it. And I don't sell these. I do give them away to some of my Patreon supporters that support me at a certain level, but that's really the only way you can really get one, other than to win one in the giveaway at Bash. So these are kind of not super available, but anyway, I thought we'd do a shop apron. And
So we're doing a shop apron and we're doing one raffle for both?
that's up to you, Dave. I mean, not Dave, Dale. I'm thinking of Dave's Barbecue.
Yeah, I think everybody's thinking about Dave's Barbecue right now.
But anyway, I've also got one of my decimal equivalent charts. This is another item. These we do sell over on our store. And I got these in 2 different sizes. This is a small one, but these were custom made and it's just something you can put in your shop. It's shop art, but it's also useful shop art because it has good, useful information on it. So we're going to do both of these. How do you want to do it? You want to do them together as a package, or you want to do them separate?
Let's do them individual, but before we go further, let's talk about Vintagemachinery.org. For you guys that don't know what this your website is, because it's really unique, but I'm going to let Keith tell you about it.
Yeah, so Vintagemachinery.org started back around the year 2000, and we really kind of started as a place where we could post up information on different manufacturers of old vintage machinery. And it really got started because we had some manuals. I actually had some manuals, and I scanned them on a scanner, and I had some people that wanted to have copies of them, and I was trying to figure out an easy way to get them. So I just created a little website, and we uploaded a few manuals, and that's kind of how it started. And it just kind of spiraled out of control from there. And over the last almost 20 years now, I think we've got over 10,000 different manufacturers of old machinery that we have documented on the site. Try to have a little bit of history about them. We try to find patents that they've done, but we also have scans of different types of manuals, catalogs, sales sheets, etc. So if you got an old piece of machinery, there's a pretty good chance that you can find some information about that over on our website. And we've done that through, a lot of it's just been through contributions of people who watch the site. So we got it set up where if you got a manual and you want to share it, you can scan it and upload it to the site. Other people have access to it. We don't charge for it. It's just something that people can go to and get information. And we really just kind of did it because we want to preserve these old machines, want to preserve their history. And there are a lot of people out there that are still using this equipment, and we just want to have a place where people can share information and keep them alive.
Yeah. So what is great about this site is whenever, there's a lot of us out here that buy machineries constantly. And to be able to find a manual is so important. So if you guys haven't been to the website, I want you to go over to vintagemachinery.org, not .com, .org, organization, and see what's out there. And you may have a rare manual that isn't up there. Go take a look. Or if you just bought a machine or you're trying to find out some information, it's an excellent site to go to. I probably visit it at least twice a week because there's always a question I have. and your website helps do that. Now, there is something I just learned today about the website is it's really for North American machinery and some from machinery from England, because some of those machines cross over a little bit. So that's one of the great things about it is if you got something that came from North America, you're rocking. So check it out. So I'm going to spin the little dial here, spin the tank. Okay, Keith, open the door. Reach inside. Oh, he's going in. He's scrambling it around. We're going to find out who's going to win the decimal chart.
Dale Dairy. No.
Awesome. Dale Dairy.
Awesome. No. How about Jay Morris?
Jay Morris, you have just won the Vintage Machinery Decimal Equivalent Chart. The number on the ticket is 713920, 713920. So you want to put the tape, yes.
There you go.
All right, let's find out who's going to do the apron.
All right, I'm going to mix it up again.
Okay, he's going to mix it up again.
Keep this as fair as I can.
Excellent.
All right, going in deep.
Oh, there he goes.
How about Brian L.?
Brian L., you've just won this. I don't know if we got another. Oh, we only have one Brian L. out there. So, Brian, you're going to get an apron very soon. The number on the ticket is 712283, 712283. All right, my friend, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Get back to work. Make some more videos for us. We love it. We're looking forward to the completion of the
Metal planer.
the metal planer.
1890s.
Okay, I'm gonna put Keith on the spot. When is it going to be ready for me to use?
It'll be less than 2 years.
Well, and let's see, the other thing is there's a chance we could move back there in 2 years because we live on different coasts, and I'm not bringing something that far over just to have a plane. Keith, thank you very much.
All right.
All right, we are going to start to give some stuff away. How you guys doing out in the audience? Excellent. Let's make this happen. From Osborne Abrasives, another stack, another turn. I'm gonna talk to my. Oh, we got our guys over here. You ready? You're going to work. You ready? Okay. All right. Paul T. 131274. 131274. All right, we have another Shars item here. Oh, this one actually has a certification card. This is a 6-inch. We close the door, spin. I'm going to pull one from the front since Keith did a couple from the back. All right. Paul already won some. I had you in my head. Brian L. The ticket number is 712349, 712349. Now, I want to thank you guys for all being very patient about our digital challenges here. It just seems like my tech guy, Brian, said everybody is watching Netflix right now. And actually, everybody's watching me right now. Did I say that out loud? Should that have been in my inside voice? It just seems to hit noon here and the bandwidth went down. So hopefully we won't have any problems. If we did, I apologize up front. Please have patience with us. So what do we got here? Is this a Noga? No, this is a Shars. I'm gonna twist some knobs here for a minute. This is nice. This has a very nice feel to it. I actually really like this fine adjustment on it. So let's find out who's going to win it. Who feels lucky? Who feels lucky out there? I got 2 people to raise their hands. Wow, I'm disappointed in that. John M., you're rocking and rolling. 713637. Hold on. 713637. 36 37s. Congratulations. I guess everybody's in a food coma. All right, 3, 2, 1 blocks. You can't actually. Can I open these up? I don't know which set they are. I'm going to hand it over to Andrew Padaka. These are, I call these church blocks, okay, because they're holy. I'm sorry, I apologize. No, that was a good one. I'm sorry. It was a good, clean joke. All right, let's find out who's going to win the 3, 2, 1 church blocks. Timothy W. 130032. 130032. Oh, this is a smaller chuck. This is a 3/8 keyless chuck. Beautiful. Now, I have to tell you guys something about these keyless chucks. I've learned the hard way. Is the bit diameter here is 3/8, okay? If you have a drill bit that has a 3/8 shank, but it's larger diameter, let's say it had 3/8, but it was a 1/2-inch drill, don't use it on these because they're self-tightening. Okay, that's a problem. So you can only do a 3/8 inch diameter, but what's great is this comes with a special wrench, so if you do not listen to my advice, you'll at least be able to break it free. Let's find out who wins. Yes, if you come over to my shop, I've got several of these chucks. All of them have drill bits in them, still, that are the wrong size. All right, Rick R. 130165. 130165. Congratulations. Oh, we have an indexing fixture. Do we know if this is the 5C? Yes. We have a 5C indexing fixture. Who wants one of these? Anybody? Oh, now we got some hands up there. All right, my friends. Let's find out who's going to win this. I'm going to put it back in the box. Spin the barrel. I'm going to go in all the way to the back, carefully. William H., this is coming to you. 131781, 131781. Now I want to see who's up for a super chat. You can ask almost any question except boxers or briefs. And we're going to take that money, and that's going to help finance sending all this stuff out to everybody, because a lot of you that are winning are not here. Actually, I think we've only had 3 or 4 items go to people here that are winning. So any super chat will help mail this stuff out and keep this going. What do we got here, Andrew? R8, set of R8 collets from Shars. All right, Mark L. I want to check something here for just a minute. Make sure I don't have more than one Mark L. Oh, we have 2 of them. So this is Mark L.E. Mark L.E., these are coming to you. All right, easy chamfer, here we go. Reaching in. Richard D. 130373. 130373. Oh, we have several Richard D's. Hold on. Oh, and I don't know exactly which Richard D it is. So, you guys might have to arm wrestle for it, but we'll try to prevent that from happening. Now remember, everybody's going to get a, can I have a extra mouse pad? Everybody that wins an item will get one of these Shars mouse pads. Very soon we're going to be giving away the $300 check from Shars also. We have the electrical edition of the Black Book. All right, let's see who won this. Frank M. I got to say something that's really important here. There are people working behind the scenes, and all these tickets that were acquired online, all these tickets had to be have names handwritten on the back of them. It took several days to get this done. And I got to say the handwriting is excellent because I can read it. Well, really, I was going to say something about my wife's handwriting, but I think I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Oh, we got expanding arbors here? Okay. My wife laughs at my drill bit collection. She doesn't know that I have an expanding arbor collection. That doesn't sound right, does it? Okay, who's going to win this? All right, Mike K. Mike K., this is coming to you, my friend. Actually, Mike's a kind of a common name. Let me check here. I remember when I was in high school, this might date me. I remember my wood shop class. Did I say wood shop? I mean my metal class in high school. We had 5 mics in the class. So I'm going to double check something here. Okay, I think we only have one Mike K. Oh, actually, no, we have 2. Well, we have a Michael and we have a Mike, so I'm not sure which one. But this kind of dates you that you're probably around my age.
You got a super chat from Tom Zillickman for $20.
Tom Zillickman, thank you very much. I got to say, Tom, we are missing you very, very much. No insult to Brian and Jennifer doing technical, but Jen's going, yes, yes. All right, Easy Chamfer is going to go to WKW Ltd. 130888. 130888. Oh, nice. With a scribe. Okay, I have an important question for you guys here and online. How many of you have a square like this that still has the original scribe? Okay, I am embarrassed. I got a great story for you guys. So the very first Starrett tool I ever got brand new was given to me for Christmas. I want to say I was 16 years old. I still have it, and it's this set here, but in the Starrett. So this comes from Shar's. It's a beautiful set. Also, I was thinking this, it comes with a scribe, so I thought that was funny. That's why I was thinking about how many of you still have scribes. I would say half of mine still have the original scribes. So let's find out who won this. All right, it's going to go to Kimmy R. Kimmy R. And the number is 49. Kimmy, you were making fun of me earlier today. Kimmy, you're blushing. You're turning. You did, didn't you? Come on, just say it.
She was just laughing at your joke.
My wife says she was just laughing at my jokes. Kimmy, we're so glad you're here. Congratulations! All right, we have a Black Book Engineers Edition 3. Spinning. Stephen S., the number is 131194, 131194. I'm going to double check my list here. Stephen. All right, no duplications there. Congratulations, Stephen. Almost finished up. We've got 4 more items for this hour. We have Osborne Abrasives right here, another great stack. I will say this stack, I had a very similar stack. It lasted me 6 months, and you guys know a lot of what I do, a lot of grinding. So let's find out who gets it. David S., The number is 131578, 131578. And I'm going to double check something again. Oh, we have two David S. So let's go. This is David S.L. David S.L. Congratulations. All right, easy chamfer, spinning. I've been kind of pulling from the front of the barrel. Let's go to the back a little bit. All right, Harold W., easy chamfer coming your way. So what did you guys think about the longer version of the Jimmy DiResta? I actually saw one comment, what was different? Well, you didn't watch the full video then, of course. All right, let's see. Ooh, wavy parallels. Yes, now, I don't own a set of wavy parallels, but somebody very shortly will be owning a set of wavy parallels. All right. Kevin A. Excellent. So the number on the ticket is 497216, 497216. Kevin A. All right, we have an easy chamfer. Is that the last item for this hour? That's it. Excellent. So let's see, what time is it right now? We are almost to 1 o'clock. Wow, I'm running a little bit behind time, aren't I? Or I'm running.
2 hours left.
Okay, we got 2 hours left. Okay, let's find out who got the easy chamfer. Brian R. We have two Brian R's, and I don't know which one it is. So one of you, well, we might just have to have a running race. So the number on the ticket is 712250, 712250. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are asking, how are we going to determine which Brian R., did I say Brian R.? Brian R. it is? Well, we actually have you all on an entire list, okay? And everything is separated out. We actually printed out each order for tickets, and then we took the rolls of tickets, and if you bought 50 of them, we pulled out 50 of them and literally stapled them to your individual piece of paper, took the other half, physically wrote your name on it, and then dropped it in the box. So we actually know who this person is. We're just not sharing last names at this minute. Can I take a break or?
You might want to thank Jim Kilroy for his $50 super chat.
Jim Kilroy, he made it on here?
Yeah, $50.
Jim Kilroy, thank you very much for the $50.
And CJ's Custom, who gave $4.99.
CJ Custom, thank.
$20.
Hold on.
$4.99 is in his name. So I don't know. $20.
CJ Custom is your name,
I don't know.
$4.99, but thank you for the $20. That is going to help ship these items out. Really, really appreciate it. That's a big deal when you guys help us out in this area. This is great. So Stan just shot a special video, and he's going to be bringing it over, and we're going to be uploading it. And I'm trying to decide.
That's going to take a minute. You can't do that right away.
No, we can't do it right away. I'm just trying to decide that I didn't. Let's see here. Who can I pick on? You know, Stan's wife just walked up here, camera B. Oh, she's not going to. She's putting some more tickets in here. We had a couple more sales. Okay, guys, we are going to go. Let's do this old Tony interview again. What do you say? Can we do that?
Sure.
Let's do that because it's such a great video. I need just a small break. I have to go upstairs for one of those little rooms. And we'll be back down in about 10 minutes. All right, thank you, guys. Hey, guys, welcome back to the Bar Z Summer Bash 2020. I got a great interview for you. I've got this old Tony coming up. Tony, hey, how's it going?
Hello. Your call is very important to me. Please hold.
Hello? Is this thing working?
Para franceses, oprimere dos.
Hello? Tony?
I'm sorry about that. If you need something done right.
Great to see your hands again. I see that you got a manicure just for us. But I got a question. To get those nails to look so good, are you using whey oil or WD-40?
Oh, shucks, my nails? Neither. I like to give them a thorough once-over with a stainless steel wire brush while I'm under the shower. Then it's an easy 2-hour soak in the lathes coolant tank. I do that twice a day for my hands, just once for my feet. Hurts so good.
My first question from you comes from a viewer. Her name is Karen from Wichita, Kansas. She's asking, boxers or briefs?
Excellent question, Karen from Kansas. I struggled with this one over the years and have come to the conclusion that in the home shop, first and foremost, even before you turn on the lights, you've got to start the day feeling confident and sexy. That's why I always wear...
You've been on YouTube for a long time, but how long? When did you start your channel?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I had to go look this up. Officially, 2010. That was like 10 years ago.
Why did you start your channel? What got you motivated to start teaching and sharing your projects on YouTube?
It didn't really start that way. Meaning, back when I started, you didn't really start a YouTube channel. It was more just like signing up for an account. The way you might have, I don't know, sign up for a photo bucket account. So you could share a link to something. Is photo bucket even still a thing? Did I just date myself? So for me, it was more like a workaround. It was just a place for me to put videos, generate a link, and invite people to watch. Like on a forum, they were BBSs, I think, back then. There was no real YouTube-specific audience, not like we understand it today. Unless you were doing cat videos or pranks that ended in excruciating crotch shots. Which, fun coincidence, just happened to be my next 2 videos.
Out of all the videos you've done, what is the favorite video you've produced?
Oh, that's a tough one. Not because they're all great, because they are. But being totally honest, once they're done, I don't really give them a second thought. I don't watch my own videos. It happens occasionally when someone asks a very specific question where I've done a lot of time traveling and need to figure out when I am for continuity's sake. But what I can tell you is,
like all of us, we have a favorite project. Tony, what is your favorite project?
Whew, Dale, those are some rough edits. My favorites are probably the build videos. The CNC router, maybe the rotary table. The one where we successfully landed the first autonomous milling machine on Mars, that was a good one. Collaborations are up there too, of course. In my favorites, I mean, not on Mars. Not yet, anyway.
As your channel has grown and changed, do you have any goals for it in the future? Do you have a way that you want it to look? Are you going to be changing anything? What do you plan to do more in the future?
No goals. Absolutely no goals. My shop's always been a place I go to blow off steam. Tinker, have fun, that sort of stuff. Very low pressure. Like half an atmosphere, probably. Whatever happens, happens. The YouTube channel is really just a good excuse to talk to myself out loud. Turns out, I'm making a video is much more socially acceptable answer to why I'm arguing with myself. Not to mention, YouTube's days are numbered. Me and my friends at Big Corp Enterprises have been working on a way to beam ads directly into everyone's subconscious. Once that happens, we won't really need this platform anymore. What we do is product placement in the dreams you'd already be having anyway. Like you're still giving that book report in your underwear, but only instead of Catcher in the Rye, you'll be talking about a VPN or something.
Let's talk about machines and tools. Do you have a favorite tool in your shop?
I don't really have a favorite. They're all here for a reason, except the die filer maybe. But if I had to start all over again, the first 2 that I'd get are a lathe and probably a TIG welder. One can take metal away and the other can put it back. For what I tend to do, for what I like to do, those 2 machines would probably cover 80% of my bases.
Did you grow up in the shop? Did your dad teach you or your brothers, anything like that?
Unfortunately, I did not. My old man was a contractor, so I was exposed to, let's call it hard work from a very early age. Building things, fixing your own stuff around the house. If something broke, it was unheard of to call someone else, let alone buy a new one. Did the whole house smell of natural gas for a month after he fixed the water heater? Sure, maybe. But the hot showers came back and most of us are still alive.
Like me, I think you've owned a lot of different machines. Do you have a bucket list machine that you want to get?
I think I'd like a jig borer or a cylindrical grinder, or heck, both. Unfortunately, I don't have space for any of that nonsense, but I bet they'd round this shop out nicely. See what I did?
I really like this question, Tony. How would you spend $1 million on your shop?
Wait, back up a minute. You mean another $1 million?
What got you into metalworking? Were you a woodworker at one time turned metalworker, or have you just kind of ignored the whole woodworking thing altogether?
No woodworking. I went through a brief phase in my teens, but thankfully I had good friends and family to help me through that. I didn't get into metalworking until my mid to late 20s. My metalworking skills back then were limited to hose clamps and JB weld. I was that guy that would spin a half-inch drill at 3,000 RPM. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The hose clamps, I mean, not the supersonic drill. That all changed one day. I used to work in a factory. What must have been a 2-inch thick steel machine base. I've since come to learn he used what are called a hand drill and a tap wrench. When he was done, he threaded the screw in, cleaned up his mess, and walked away. Absolutely blew my mind. I stood there staring at that screw for a full 2 shifts after they'd fired me. I mean, I'd seen people fix stuff. Heck, I'd even fixed a few things myself. But this old fella, he just dropped his little tool bag and created something, where before there was nothing, in solid steel no less. And I've been breaking taps ever since.
Tony, you have a lot of different viewers at different levels. Do you have any advice for the beginner?
Don't think you have to have every last tool to get started. If you're interested, pick a project and just get the stuff you need for that one build. Yes, you'll start off doing a lot of things the hard way, but just get what you need for right now. Over time, your tool collection, more importantly, your skill set will grow.
Here's my favorite question. What is the best troll comment you've ever had?
That's an easy one because it still keeps me up at night. I had a viewer one time tell me I had some really nice dad shoes. Dude, those were like the hippest kicks I've ever owned.
YouTube has a broad range of videos and content from different creators in different genres. Do you have a favorite YouTube?
Definitely BuzzFeed. No. Watch Mojo. Damn, that's a tough choice.
Do you have a favorite metalworking YouTuber?
I used to really like metal tips and tricks. Then I got into build something cool.
Tony, what is it that you love about your shop the most?
As stupid as it might sound, just that it's here. I've gone through a couple of shops in my time. In fact, my last one was much bigger. Not A-bomb sized machines, but much bigger than what I have now. When I got married, we needed more space and money. I wasn't doing a lot of metalworking, so I trimmed back. I got rid of everything. Like I had a bench grinder, a stick welder. I had this bench, mostly because nobody wanted it. Oh, I kept my Bridgeport, I think. I remember using that a couple times as a drill press, but not that much stuff. Turns out, though, I couldn't live without it. Slowly, I started buying the equipment you see today. Smaller machines, but machines nonetheless. Being able to come out to the garage and make a $50 washer I could have bought for 50 cents means the world to me.
And let's go with a follow-up question to that one. What do you hate about your shop the most?
This is probably going to sound ridiculous. The thing I hate the most about this garage is the floor. First, there's just not enough of it. And second, whoever built this thing used like 10 yards of sand and maybe a teaspoon of cement. It just crumbles and creates a ton of dust. I have to be careful when I sweep up. If I spend too long in one spot, I'll end up with a hole. This junk gets all over the machines and the equipment. Many moons ago, I experimented with a few different types of epoxy, and none of them really stuck. I primed this floor, etched it, the whole 9 yards. It just, I don't know. I'm basically working with sand here. I know we've come a long way since then, but just the thought of moving all this junk to pour a floor makes my blood boil. At this point, I figure I'll just put up with it until we move into a new house.
Hey, Tony, I want to say thank you so much for letting us interview you and being a part of the Summer Bash 2020. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me, Dale, and all you other bash goers. Stay safe, have fun, and thanks for watching. Thanks for having me.